Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and that means it's time for Morgan's lazy Sunday afternoon, quote unquote, productivity stream, where sometimes we're lazy and sometimes we're productive, but we always have snacks. Sorry, we're running a little late. My dad came down for a visit, and so I was hanging out with him for a while, and my sister and her family. So, with me today, I have Doc Coleman and Sako Tumi. Say hello to the nice people.
Hello, nice
Hello,
people.
nice people.
So what's everybody working on today?
Substack as always.
So I am going to be trying to finish up my short story for the
Anthology?
I can't talk. Yes, the anthology, An Assembly of Monsters from eSpec Books, for which the Kickstarter is probably going to be starting really soon, but she hasn't started it yet. But we've started to put teasers out there for people to go and follow it on Kickstarter, so they'll know as soon as it opens up, so they can pledge. But
Nice.
Yeah, I started this last week, and since last Monday was Labor Day, I took a chunk of the day and wrote half the story, and then yesterday I had to have my car into the shop, and I waited and sat down and typed out another uh, 11,000, 12,000 words. Or I'm sorry, 1,200 words, not 12,000. That would be ridiculous.
I was about to say, that's a whole act.
Pardon my order of magnitude.
Yeah.
So I'm got I know what I'm thinking. I've got 1,200 words left before I hit the 5,000 word limit, and I basically got one scene left. I might break it into two scenes, but I'm kind of there.
Yay!
Yay.
And I may actually have some room in this story. I'm always very happy with myself when I manage to do a short story and come in under the limit, because I'm so used to writing long.
Yeah. The struggle is real. So let me pop it into the comments. Hello, Dwan is here, and Sarah is working on a video as per usual. So cool. I think I'm going to be doing some day job stuff that I have allegedly already done. It wasn't working, so I want to.
Oh, okay. So you basically have to redo it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're basically time shifting. You're not giving them free work. You're just time shifting when your work was done.
I mean, things and stuff. But anyway, I gotta get something in by Monday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Although I am in the middle of a book, so I might be reading. We're at 521. And obviously today is Sunday, so at some point somebody will be getting gushy food, but I'm trying to actually split the mama walks in the door to gushy food delivery. So they're not quite directly related.
So that you're not just the gushy food delivery service that comes on Sundays.
Yeah.
So, Greg has become the gushy food delivery, as soon as he comes home from the store.
Yeah.
Which is about 3 p.m. So now it's just a timed thing.
Right. And I mean, there's a reason I feed my cat usually before I go to bed. I like to encourage him not to be time oriented and demanding at particular times. Although, do you know what today is? 28 days since Catticus last drew blood.
Wow.
We are at week 4.
Dun,
people,
dun.
Before we started tracking, I knew he would go weeks without, but it was hard to prove to anyone. So they only heard about, the bad days, not the good days kind of thing.
Well, the
funny thing about the days when you jump in your face.
This is the good days part, and maybe different context for the good things.
Well, it's also, it's easier to remember, oh my God, he made me bleed over he was being a cat today. He sat on my lap.
Hey, I don't have a lab cat.
I have a snuggle bug who will sit on my lap for like 6 hours if I let him. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. He is, I mean, occasionally he'll do the whole mama get out of your chair, sit in the, recliner with the my favorite blanket to snuggle up on. And then he will walk across and then not settle there, but he likes to know it's available when he wants it.
Yeah, I do not have a lap cat. I have a chest cat.
Yeah, no, he occasionally he'll go between mine and the roommate's laps and be like, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay." He just wants to make sure he has options and explores them. He usually ends up back on my lap, but knowing the lap is available is very comforting for him.
I see.
Yeah.
So.
I visited a friend a couple of weeks ago, and her cats went and climbed right up on my lap, and it's like, oh God, it's been so long since I've had a lap cat.
Apparently, he sits in my roommate's lap while she's at her desk. I guess my desk setup just isn't that good, or I keep crossing my legs and then my left knee complains when I stand up. Trying to do better. So, Dwan is only here for a short bit before picking his mom up from the airport. Well, we're glad you swung by, and we hope it's a good mom visit. So,
he's house sitting for his mom currently, and we'll be. Mom comes back from a cruise today, so he's gonna pick her up and take her home.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. So, did anybody get up to anything exciting this week?
I sure did. I went to a metal festival.
Ooh, tell us more.
And I'm going to another power metal concert tonight.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm in Atlanta for I went to Prog Power USA, which is a festival of 16 bands that over 4 days that totally melted my face, and
in good ways,
in good ways. The bands that I didn't particularly care for was Nap Time.
Sure.
I was gonna say that's Prog, P-R-O-G, not P-R-A-U-G-E.
Yes, P-R-O-G, as in progressive metal. Yeah.
Oh, super fun. I read.
That is fun.
I finally conquered my laundry pile.
Ooh.
That's been around for 2 months worth. And do you know what was at the bottom of it?
What?
Laundry?
A duvet cover that had been twisted into itself with also sheets trapped inside. It took me, I kid you not, half an hour to detangle it. I got 28 activity minutes according to my Fitbit getting it detangled because I couldn't just yank it out. It was too stuck, and wiggling it, I got worried about ripping the seams.
Yeah.
So
and this was the clean laundry, right?
Well, after being that twisted and tangled at the bottom of the laundry thing, it needs a refreshing. I do not think it dried properly quickly enough.
Yeah.
It's got that musty sort of. It's going through again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely don't blame you there.
Where it can tangle again. Oh.
Not a good scene. So I have never had it that tangled that bad. I've taken maybe 1 to 5 minutes, but 28 activity minutes according to Fitbit I was almost defeated by a duvet cover. You
got to watch them duvet covers.
There are lots of people who have been defeated by duvet covers, so don't feel too bad. Give yourself some grace.
Especially if they're allied with fitted sheets. I mean, some people just surrender to the fitted sheets altogether.
I'm usually a champion of both.
I am not.
I enjoy a good fitted sheet. I like my duvet cover, even though I very rarely actually put the duvet in it. Sometimes I put it on top of the duvet if I need that extra layer, but sometimes I just use the cover by itself. So
But
Makes sense.
I was to say, I already did my exciting stuff for the week, and that was I wrote 3 days,
good
3
job.
separate days.
That's awesome.
After I've been struggling for so long, only being
Yeah.
able to do writing or editing when we're doing the stream,
Mhm.
that I actually got 2 extra days that I got writing in, and I'm almost done with this thing.
That's pretty awesome. So,
Yeah.
Dwan says, "It's okay, you can't become a 2-time champion without losing the title once."
True.
Love it, love it. Victoria is here. Hello.
Hey, Victoria.
Everything comes back to wrestling, of course.
That
Thanks.
depends on who you're wrestling, doesn't it?
I mean,
But that's a different stream.
the main person I used to wrestle growing up was obviously my sister, and we are entirely evenly matched.
Yeah.
So
I
it
would
was
hope so.
it was mostly a draw. Mostly a draw. So, although we did like barricade ourselves behind furniture and fling shoes at each other once.
Only once.
You know, sisters are sisters.
Sisters are sisters.
Mhm.
So,
But being identical twins, if they weren't evenly matched, that would be somewhat distressing.
I mean, I think the difference would be training if
Yeah,
one of
you
us
would
did a
think
martial
so.
art.
But
So,
you would also think you'd have the same training for the most part.
just because we're born identical doesn't mean our interests are identical.
No, it doesn't. But from what I know of you, that you did a lot of the same
Oh,
activities.
yes. Our specific instance, our Venns overlapped a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not
We-
making any aspirations about other identical twins in the world. Just you two.
Sure. Hardcore match. So, what do y'all say about a sprint?
I think a sprint sounds great.
I got some work to do.
This is an
I don't
excellent
wanna.
time for one.
So, ba, 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 ba. Okay.
And Sako was just telling me that my new keyboard, which I just installed over this past week, is rather loud and clicky when I'm typing.
Ooh. I mean, some people like a clicky keyboard. Like that's what they
I
get.
think it sounds delectable,
Nice.
but I figured if he were to get a message during talkie time and it come over the mic, clackety 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 clack.
Yeah.
Sure.
It might be a little noticeable.
Might kind of notice.
I got a new headset for my birthday, so I hope my audio is coming in okay.
I thought
It's
that was
coming
looking new.
So, I mean, I can put the microphone closer to my mouth if we need to. Close to my mouth.
Oh my.
Now I feel like
Oh
I'm
my.
ready to do some ASMR.
So I see Dwan is saying that he needs a Bluetooth clicky keyboard.
I do too.
This particular keyboard is not Bluetooth. I actually went with the wired version because I knew I was using it with a KVM, so I needed it to be wired. However, Keychron, the company that makes this, has an extensive line of Bluetooth keyboards.
Cool.
And a friend of mine, his son actually did a huge comparison of a lot of the top end 200 plus keyboard manufacturers, and Keychron is the one that came out rated best overall in terms of both performance and price.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is one of these
Hey.
heavily customizable keyboards where you can replace the keycaps, you can actually replace the switches.
Oh no, did he draw blood?
Nope, we're good. Just checking.
Okay.
He got a little wound up there. Okay, he wandered off. We're good. Carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the keyboard discussion.
So yeah, this is definitely a very nice keyboard, which should last me for quite a long time.
Nice. I hope it does. So I got my cap clave scheduled today.
Oh,
I
nice.
got mine as well. I just haven't had a chance to look at it.
Sure, I get that. My approved
Just
photo is no longer loading, so I might need to upload a new photo.
that's not good.
Oh, weird.
So fun times.
Not sponsored. But
Not
we should be sponsored. We should be sponsored for keyboards
and snacks.
and snacks.
Really.
Are there
Maybe
any
I can
snacks
get
that
one.
we habitually eat?
I mean, Doc is a regular.
Popcorn. Popcorn
Popcorn
is
is
often on
is
the
always
docket.
popular. I am also fond of the various flavors of the Chex Mix.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, Lindt truffles are, pretty regular for me. Not always, but pretty regular.
Yep.
I can see popping one after the other though.
Yeah.
And just the calorie count just ching ching ching.
Right.
Well, that's why she doesn't do them that way. That's why she makes them the reward for getting her writing done. So,
Yeah. Get a handful, walk away.
yeah.
I
The basket.
reshared recently a meme about how I keep trying out the pre-reward, giving myself a reward before I do the thing, and it has a 0% success rate, but I
Yeah.
keep trying.
Yeah, the pre-reward doesn't work for me either.
I would think that it would probably work better if you like. So you're going to sit down and you're going to write, and you're going to pull out 4 Lindt truffles, and you're going to put them in a line in front of you, and 3 of them are your after reward. You only get those when you've hit your goal.
No,
First
let's
one.
back up. Let's back up. During the writing contest that shall not be named.
Yes. Which
Oh,
we
I
can
was
go
gonna
into
maybe
later.
do a blog post.
You should.
Yeah, I should.
Definitely.
But I would get 4 truffles, and I would eat one when I sat down, and then every 500 words or every 20 minutes, 25-minute sprint, I would have another one. So
Yeah, that
that's
works.
yes, I have already done that. I'm a master of that one.
Okay. So that that is an example of combining a pre-reward with actual accomplishment rewards to get you motivated and make you successful.
Exactly.
It's when all of your reward is up front that doesn't ever work.
Struggle is real, y'all.
Yeah.
So, okay, we were getting ready to do a sprint.
Yes, we were.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started in a 3, 2, 1, boom, chakalaka. And we're back. How was your sprint?
Things went well, Sako?
I loaded 18 pictures that I took over the week, and I'm going to explain what the pictures are and what they mean and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very picture-heavy newsletter.
Sure. That was probably expected.
Yeah.
So, Doc?
Let's see. I got 179 words written. Not quite as much as I had expected, but it definitely felt like I was doing good there for a while, and then times kind of jumped on me. So
Yeah,
I got no excuse.
I rewatched the Aladdin. I was watching some Facebook reels, and the Aladdin competition TikTok thing came through.
Okay.
Then I went to go look up the full length one because it's just so much fun, and I love it. And I linked it, so whatever.
Oh,
It's adorable, and I totally ship them, even though they're just friends. So anyway, and I logged into work and I read a little, and obviously I gave Catticus his gushy food.
yes. Duties called.
It's Sunday. What else was I supposed to do?
Indeed.
So, popping into the chat. Oh, just before we went on break, Dwan said, "Hey, the keyboard is not sponsored." And
No.
Surrey emailed Chips Ahoy about sponsoring Morgan. And Sarah would like you to slam that like button. So,
Thanks, Sarah.
yeah.
Sarah. I tried to say wordsmith and Sarah at the same time, and it turned out to be Sweara.
I mean,
Sweara?
legit. I can see it. So Nikki said, "Hey everyone, did the stream just start?" We started not quite an hour ago, but yeah. So I think somebody
We're about
was
halfway through.
trying to sell viewers, unclear. And Sarah just started cutting her videos. Her day has been slow. I get that.
My day is going quickly,
Okay.
but partly because I took a nap. I think I took a nap because I kind of lost like 2 hours.
Yeah. If I took a nap, I would know it because it would be night and I would be waking up to go back to sleep. So
I mean, naps are pretty glorious. Catticus taught me that. Okay, that's a lie. I already knew it, but
Already knew it. Yeah.
I do not nap well. I sleep.
So I'm not good at short naps. It's got to be hour
like
and
a 3
half.
hour.
Hour and a half, 3 hour. Like I don't know if I've babbled about this on the stream before, but according to Fitbit, my sleep cycle is usually my first sleep cycle is like 3 hours, and then it's 90-minute cycles after that. So if I can get a full sleep cycle in, we're good. And that's why, I'm probably more likely to get either 7 or 9 hours of sleep, but not really 8.
Yeah.
I'm just happy whenever I don't wake up an hour before my alarm because my bladder is screaming.
Yeah. I hate alarms. Luckily my body is
or otherwise.
right. My body is on board with this. So like if I have an early alarm, I will typically start waking up about half an hour before it goes off. And then I'll wake up 15 minutes before it goes off, and then 10, and then 9, and 15 seconds. So yeah. I hate alarms with a fiery, burning passion. And my alarm is a very calm, soothing, chimey thing, because I do not like to be alarmed by alarms. And also I am not that deep of a sleeper, so I don't need like a klaxon or like,
Yeah, same way.
Yeah.
Same way.
The people who have like the 7 alarms to wake up, no. I'm not even a snooze person. I'll just turn it off and then doze and peek at the clock every 10 minutes. Or
yeah.
Oh no, I'm
minutes.
very adept at hitting that snooze button in my sleep.
Do you
No.
fall back asleep though? It's
Um,
not just a doze, a drowse?
it's definitely a doze. Whether or not I fell back to sleep depends on how close to dream state I was when I actually hit the button to make that annoying noise stop.
But snoozes are 9 minutes apart, which is like super annoying. It's
Yep.
just enough to fall asleep, but not enough to stay asleep. So
This is 10 minutes.
yeah,
This is a 10-minute snooze.
I hate it so
So 9 minutes, not so bad.
yeah.
Mine's
I
a
guess.
9-minute snooze. If I could adjust it, I would.
Sure.
I have not uncovered the secret of adjusting the snooze timer.
I mean, you could just set multiple alarms, or actually,
I do that too.
Oh, so let's see. If
But
I
that's
go
why
to
the worst part is when I wake up an hour before my alarm is supposed to go off, and I have to go to the bathroom in order to appease the beast, and then I come back and I can't get back to sleep properly again.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about Apple. I'm an Android girl, but if I go into my alarm, I have options. Do I have it today? Do I schedule it for like weekday or a particular day? So that's the first option. The second option is naming the alarm. The third option is the alarm sound. The fourth is vibration. Do I want it to vibrate? And the fifth is snooze. How long and how many times? Currently, it's 5 minutes and 3 times. But it never happens unless I miss the alarm because I'm in the shower.
Oh.
In which case, it'll go off again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no.
Yeah. My snooze option is snooze available or not?
That's so weird.
That's it.
Apple is so our way or the highway.
I don't know. I haven't needed to. I don't ever hit the snooze button. So I sometimes will accidentally hit the snooze button because for some reason it is the glowy button and not the turn this off button. It kind of randomizes when.
Sure.
And where it puts buttons. When you're like unconscious and trying to, like hit the snooze button, you might actually turn it off instead. And that's not great.
That's yeah. Not really. So I mean,
not sure what their logic is, but
who likes snooze? Wrong people. It's okay. You can be wrong, Doc. I'll still be your friend even if you're wrong.
I dislike it. I don't dislike it. It's just
it's not the
I set an alarm about a half an hour before I actually want to be up and doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's not that I like hitting snooze, it's that I dislike getting up.
I get that one. So getting up is in fact the worst, but for me it's usually a decision and not just unconsciousness calling me back under.
Mm-hmm.
So I may be ADHD, but my time blindness is not that bad usually. Mm-hmm. So, or at least not in that way.
Right.
So yeah. Although I've been getting really bad at showing up to meetings, but some of it's juggling multiple calendars.
Oh, yeah.
Like last week I missed a sprint planning meeting that was at 11:30 because our regular daily status meeting was canceled and is usually at noon. So I just assumed it was the same time slot.
Oh, whoops.
So, and when you look at the calendar, or if you're just looking at the daily, 11:30 and 12 look about the same spot. So I just didn't. Yeah. So that was on me.
Well, that was on your calendars. That was not on.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be better about especially unplugging my headset when I'm not in a meeting so I can hear the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
The reminder chime at like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, even though you can have like Gmail open with it in the sidebar with your calendar and your to-do stuff for the day,
Mhm.
I guess I turned Gmail notifications off, but I have calendar notifications on. So the Gmail
Oh,
tab won't give me reminders. And if I haven't hit refresh on the calendar tab recent enough, it won't give me the time. So
oh, fuck.
one of
Yeah,
the things I hate saying this, but I really enjoy Microsoft Teams because it lets you know when somebody has joined the meeting. So you can see
yeah,
that, oh yeah, that's starting.
Mhm.
Which is very similar to being in an office situation where you're sitting next to your coworkers and you see them get up and go to the meeting room.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
as a remote employee, or at least this team's based in California, so,
yeah.
I can't sit with them. So it's yeah. I I was once on a test team, and the head test person sat across the table from me and would quietly go to the meeting and then be like, "Why are you late?" I'm like, What why didn't you say anything when you stood up and walked to the meeting 2 minutes ago?" Like,
I thought you were going to the bathroom. How did I know there was a meeting?
or for more water or something.
Yeah.
Like, usually people are like, "Hey, you coming?" Or "See
Yeah,
you in a minute,"
usually.
or
Yeah.
something, some verbal acknowledgement of, "Hey, I'm headed to the meeting." But no, he just quietly boop, 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 boop.
And
Super
then
weird.
and then
Be
called you
surprised
out
I was
for when
I mean,
you were
he wasn't
late.
bad about it, but, like, I
No,
just
that's just like kind of asshole-ish, like
Yeah.
in
When,
and
when,
of
when you're
itself,
sneaking off like a specter to go to the meeting that you know that
that
the
the
other
other
person
person
has
is going to
to go
be at.
it
to.
was a 4-person
Yeah.
meeting. Like, I was a quarter of the people in it. Like, our manager at the time, his name was Brian, and his, name tag on his door said "brain" because that typo happened so much. He's just like, "I'm going with it. I'm going with
I'm
it."
going with it. I'm brain. Yeah.
I loved it. It was a great yeah, I've really lucked out. Most of the people I've worked with, have been really delightful to work with, even if,
Mhm.
their work, on the other hand, might have been something else, but, I've pretty much always gotten along with my coworkers and my management.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason, job hunting is stressful because I know I'm in, you know, when you like the people you work with.
So,
There's
so
a lot of there's a lot to say about never quitting the job. You quit the people.
Yeah.
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 And yeah, the
Yeah. So,
getting
I
getting along with your coworkers makes it really hard to do contracts, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
I I'm getting tired of software engineering, but I haven't
no,
decided where I wanna go next that pays the bills and the writing's not quite there yet. Um,
right.
and everybody's like, "Oh, obviously, if you're coming from software, you should go into, either testing or management or documentation." I'm like, "I
I
might
don't
wanna
want
go
to
in
do
a different
any of
direction.
those things.
I might wanna
Yeah.
go in a completely different direction." But I
They
haven't
want
decided
you to yeah, they want you to
leverage the skills I
try.
already have, which makes sense. But I don't know if that's what I wanna do, and I haven't decided what I do wanna do, so I'm just staying where I am for now, and we'll see what happens.
Right on.
So, I mean, it pays the bills, and it pays the bills nicely, so and I get to work on flying cars, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
ground control software. I am not an avionics girl.
Yeah. But
I
it's also so much so these days is kind of like, okay, your boss is changing. It's time to look at the job market because odds are the next boss is either going to be better or it's going to be way, way worse.
I haven't run into any I mean, I've had annoying bosses. I've had a couple coworkers. Bob was my least favorite.
I've had too many instances where you've got a good boss and they go and move on to some new assignment,
Mhm.
and the person that replaces them then goes and poisons the entire environment, and
My
Ooh.
everyone starts bailing.
my biggest problem is software engineering is a gig.
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
A project
And
ends.
working for gigs sucks.
And the company I work for is amazing because I can be on the bench for up to 3 months. So I'll be doing support projects and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And there are some companies you have 2 weeks and you're out if your project ends and you have nothing.
Mm.
But hiring and onboarding is a huge process and costs a lot of money. And so my company has the funds and the longevity perspective to keep us on if they can. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes it a lot less stressful to be in this career. But since the pandemic, I have been on, like, most of my projects have been between 3 and 6 months, and it takes 3 to 6 months to get comfortable on a new team on a new project and really get up
Mm-hmm.
to speed. So,
Right.
like, the bouncing between is getting really
Annoying.
exhausting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Exhausting. So I think, that definitely has contributed towards the burnout that I've been playing with for this whole year. So that
Is
and,
the gig economy, like
yeah,
spoon wise and
between
money
that
counting on it,
and my
and
stack of rejection letters and, going a little too hardcore on the social media, I think those 3 factors are combined, why
combined, just like a
burnt me
house of
out
cards.
entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
these powers combined.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, I've been so lucky that in all 3 of those spaces, I haven't run into any super toxic people or anything like that.
Good.
But
Wow.
it's exhausting and frustrating, and there's only so much in your control. And,
Mhm.
at some point you're like, this isn't making me happy anymore. And I think part of the reason the social media, the blogging and stuff has not come back is because I could do it, but I don't know if I could sustain it. And I think I'm like, hey, what I was doing was unsustainable while I have all this other stuff going on. What do I want to bring back? Which components? And I can't pick and choose because I liked a lot
Because
of them.
executive dysfunction.
Executive dysfunction, but also I have to choose fewer than I was, and picking which ones I'm like, "Oh, maybe this subset, or this subset, or this subset, or some of these," and I just haven't made a decision, so,
Oh, I feel you.
yeah.
Something's got to give, though.
I gave entirely, whoosh, so,
Yeah. Yeah. But you went entirely the other end of the spectrum
yeah,
where you
yeah.
decided to shut down entirely.
I mean, I don't know if there was a decision in there, it's just where I ended. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I am thinking about doing the November writing challenge, potentially unaffiliated. But
There is a form going around for Jenna O'Malley's
sure.
rebranding of
I think
the November month
writing
challenge.
The November writing event. Ugh.
Mhm.
I think we need to talk about what happened. So, for those who do not follow NaNoWriMo News, National Novel Writing Month, the challenge to write 50,000 words in the month of November, an average of 6 pages a day. They came out with a statement after Pro Writing Aid sponsored them with their AI tools, expanded from just editing purposes to helping you write, to
Yeah.
say that they do not consider AI assistance as cheating. They totally welcome it. And to do anything else would be classist and ableist.
Right.
Yeah.
They did an
They
apology post basically saying, well, it was sort of kind of like that, but
well, they
It's a
basically
self-challenge to write 50,000 words in 1 month,
Mhm.
and it should be hard.
in
But
which
if you're chat GPTing your entire novel and throwing it up on Amazon, like they're
in a
not
day.
condoning that.
Yeah.
if it's entirely for you to do whatever, and there are definitely concerns that I agree with about does that mean that their sponsor is going to get access to all of these uploaded to verify our word count, to add
to use for training? Yeah, that would.
to use for training? We don't know. They're not saying
We
it's
don't
not.
know.
So it's
So Nicole is asking how the hell is that ableist? And that's a very good point. And the thing is, they spun it that using AI to help you write your story is like handicapped people using mobility aids,
yeah.
or
So
having seeing eye
yeah,
dogs or interpreters. And it's like,
yeah.
no, it's fucking
I've
not.
talked to my friends, my writer friends. I have a local friend who had a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, and so she
Mhm.
has trouble plotting and thinking all the way through things. And she said, she uses AI to help outline, to plot, to get that outline, but not for the actual writing, for the brainstorming.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think a lot of
I do
writers
too.
use some level of AI for editing and revisions.
Yeah.
Hemingway
And
app where it gives you the grade is a level of AI. It's not a huge one, but it's definitely there. So like most people I talk to are like AI as a tool for brainstorming and editing and revision, okay. For making the words happen, no. Especially since it's a self challenge to see if you can do it.
And
And
there's definitely a
I'm on board
space
with that.
in there where you can use AI to help you find sources for doing your research,
Yeah.
not to generate the research itself, but to help you find the
In Pro
sources so you
Writing
can.
Aid, they've started generative
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
generative text.
And the fact that they
So,
came out with a stance when they got them as a sponsor, came
Yeah.
across as capitalistic and skeezy AF. So
yeah.
let me
Especially
pop
when you can. I'm sorry. Go
I was
for it.
gonna pop into
Pop
the
in the comments.
comments and let, them talk. Victoria's like, "Their statement is ableist." Nikki's like,
Yeah.
"It's cheating, yes, to use any AI during Nano." Hey, Maggie.
Hi,
Uh,
Maggie.
Great interview
Oh,
today.
thank you.
Nikki says, "The only thing that makes sense that's kind of cheating is being a rebel.
Yeah.
Until you're used to writing 50,000 words in a month. The whole point is to write crap until you can not write crap. It takes
Mhm.
100,000 words to be an expert or whatever it is." Maggie
Or
says,
whatever, yeah.
Maggie says most writers use non-generative AI for editing, spell check, grammar,
Spell
etc.
check and grammar. Yeah.
And it's also like if you use generative AI to write in this context, I feel like you can't say you like writing.
Exactly.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's a challenge to create a story, but that's a different challenge. And also, there's the AI discussion of energy use and that sort of thing. And also, where did they get the training
The
from? Was it
Yep.
Yeah.
stuff public domain, or are they using other people's works with or without consent? And
And the
Maggie
problem
says,
is that
Mhm.
all those generative AI models are corrupted by now.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Maggie says generative AI that creates a turducken document from imported works. Yeah, totally
Or
agree.
Dude, yeah,
Imputed, I'm sorry. So,
yeah.
if you
yeah.
And the thing is, they're doing this on top of the scandal that they had last year, where people were using the forums in order to stalk people, especially minors.
Grooming
Um,
underage
yeah,
writers. And they're
and,
currently supposed to be vetting the municipal liaisons, and my municipal liaisons have not been contacted or authorized yet. And it's
mhm.
been since
I heard
last.
they were all fired
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
And nobody's
know of
been hired
so
back
many
yet.
municipal
and
liaisons who just failed.
nobody.
And Northern Virginia is one of the larger NaNoWriMo communities. So like who are they starting with if they haven't done any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry,
don't
I
know.
cut you off a couple times. Go ahead, Doc.
It's just like the board has gotten uh has gotten to the point where they're trying to find a neutral middle of the road statement, and instead they're saying the worst possible things they can say to actually sabotage their own project. And yeah, what I was saying earlier was that just about all the municipal liaisons that I know have quit because they don't want to be associated with this organization anymore.
Uh, I have a friend, a writer friend in Ohio, who is, I mean, she was an ML for like 7 years, and they are working on making another monthly challenge in like March, and that would have the events, that would have the community, that would have the rewards and stickers and the whole shebang. And I'm kind of here for it.
I don't know if March is best for me, but we'll definitely see. And I was talking to my boyfriend, and he's like, he understands the whole scandal and everything, and he knows that I have completely, broken my executive function, but he still understands and expects that I was like,
He
hey, I'm
won't see
probably.
much of anything.
He knows I'm probably going to be doing it again.
Yeah.
So I have an addiction. So yeah.
Just because it's writing time doesn't mean it's bad. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know the local nano group was discussing splitting off and doing it ourselves. So I'm
I think it's a
scanning it
great
right now to
idea.
see what the discussion is. Mhm.
I think it's because I've kind of missed the Discord discussion. I need to go back and read it. But we're big enough that the IHOP late night thing, I mean, it's an event.
Yeah.
You know?
For those,
go ahead.
I was going to say, for those who are unfamiliar with municipal liaisons, each area, like Northern Virginia or Eastern Kentucky or whatever, has organizers who organize events and the kickoff. And those are the municipal liaisons, and they cheer you on and make sure things are put together.
Yeah, I was going to say the Maryland group just chose a name for itself, and it's like, and they could very well move on, continue using the Discord and the new name chosen, and just divorce themselves from the parent company. So I don't know what's going on.
Great idea.
Yeah,
I think it's great,
mm-hmm.
especially for the regional groups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go into the comments?
Yeah.
Did
you want to hit
another sprint?
Watch like them roll by and not talking about them because you're doing stuff.
Yeah. So okay, popping in, Nikki says, I can understand using Chat GPT or Character AI for outlining and fleshing out your outline, but don't use it to write your novel. I agree, using AI writing your novel is cheating. And Sarah says, yeah. We're worried that they already used stuff from years prior and didn't tell us.
I'm worried.
Me too. Nikki says, you can't do that in real life if you want to publish that book. It's true. These days, when talking to a publisher or magazine publish, there's now a checkbox, and there's a distinction between AI assisted and AI written. And, if it's written by AI, most places will not accept it. I believe in the future, there will probably be a market for it, but it will be separate and discrete. It will not be the same market.
I feel the same way about the art.
Yeah, because it's not going away. We can't get rid of it, but we need to acknowledge
to learn.
Yeah,
the access pot should be controlled. It shouldn't have just the whole wide, internet in order to pull its information.
Yeah. And I mean, who hasn't read a book series in which, 15 books in, 25 books in, you feel like they could trade on the first 15 books and come out with a book that looks about like what you just got.
They were phoning it in. Yeah. No, it's like if you could make a point that they, I don't know, they if they built the models just on what was in public domain, then there would still be a space for new authors, because all the public domain stuff is old. So it's all and you'd still have a space for new voices.
Sure.
That were human made, not computer generated. But the fact that they
the translation.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a translator, like
oh god,
using Google Translate.
It's the important thing about
Mrs.
getting a
Nuance
translator is
and
getting
stuff.
the idioms.
And the context, you know, there's a lot of connotation that can get lost because two words can mean the same thing, but have completely different connotations.
Or worse, other connotations added in that weren't there before.
Like, isn't there a car that means a curse word in Spanish?
Well, there's the Chevy Nova, except in Spanish that literally means doesn't go.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and race. I'm gonna race through the comments. Maggie said, "I'm okay with limited generative AI for things like prompts or giving a list of plot points for a specific genre or tropes. That is okay, but generative AI to write the whole thing, that is not okay." Maggie had an hour-long rant that she reduced to 13 minutes on her video yesterday. And many
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. And many are leaving Nano and going to Discord or Reddit to create their own challenges. Lots of people in AuthorTube are talking about an October 50K event instead. Ooh, I don't know if I can do October.
I can't do October. Between my anniversary and then Sawane at the end of the month, I can't do it.
Maggie says a lot of the chatter agrees November is a bad month. For some people, every month is bad for somebody. Nikki
they had originally chosen November to be difficult.
I think it was also because they were college kids and they had a week off for, Thanksgiving. And
that may be true too.
Their age, they weren't the ones doing the cooking. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have feelings about people who think holidays are easy because they just show up and expect everything to happen versus being the ones expected to help. And there tends to be a gender bias there.
And not every family is that way. Some families, you show up and you might get your laundry done, but you're helping with everything else, damn it.
I did my laundry before I went home because I didn't want to have to lug it. But that's a different issue. Let's see. Nikki says, is it okay to use character AI to help write your outline and flesh it out as long as all the ideas are yours? Yeah. Some people say they use it to see ideas. And
I use it for structure.
Yeah. And some people use it for knowing what they don't want to do if they get stuck on a plot point.
Yeah. I could definitely, if you're using a set structure, using the AI to check your structure, that's perfectly valid. If you're having it build the structure for you, then we get into
like storyplanner.com is AI, right? You plug in all your information and then it makes a story based on what you've put into it, and that way you can download it and you have your notes. And
as I said, brainstorming and outlining, sure, why not?
Brainstorming and outlining,
it depends on the balance of how much you're putting in versus what you're getting out.
Absolutely.
If you're getting out more than you're putting in, then you're on the wrong side of things.
I mean, I feel like if it's a high-level outline like I do, like travels to city, denouement, fights whoever, that level of outlining, I think is almost closer to a story prompt and maybe not...
my beats are prompts.
Yeah, pretty much. So lots of comments. Let me try and rush through them. Maggie,
but mine was not. My beat sheet is not generated.
Mine neither.
Yeah.
So Maggie says, I want Autumn Authors Writing Challenge, and we can call it Raicha. Raicha. Okay. Sorry. Hey, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
So much nano drama. Should be an interesting November. Nicole popping in to say hello.
Hi, Nicole.
Maggie says Amazon now has a 3-part drop-down menu for AI, text, images, translation, and you have to mark it every time. Sako likes the autumn theme for the new brand. Maggie says, poor Jenna had someone send her an AI written book to fix it, and she sent it back to them. She's like, gasp. Maggie says, I'm totes for seasonal names, but Gilliam from New Zealand pointed out that it's spring down there, which is spring no rimo for them. So Maggie says some people use it for dialogue help. And Jenna says, hi, friends.
Hi, Jenna. Perfect for this discussion. Holy crap. Because she's the one kind of spearheading the rebrand.
Sure.
The October,
Welcome.
who's it?
Sure. So yeah, NaNoWriMo. That was a decision.
Yeah. they really shouldn't have. Oh, the storm. I forgot about that.
Stormed.
Come on, storm.
Maybe put your thumbs closer to the camera.
There we go.
There we go. More distinct.
I love it. I love it. Jenna's like, all I did was make a form, people. Who's a kitty? Catticus is a kitty. Did you know that? You probably suspect.
Right, but you're the one getting all the emails.
Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, we have time for one more sprint.
Yeah, let's do the one more sprint.
Do it. Okay.
But it was necessary for us to at least address this.
Yeah, seeing how much nano we have done here, we definitely needed to talk about that. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boop. I was boop denied, but okay. And how was your sprint?
Pretty good. I had set a 500 word target for today, and I did 179 words earlier, so this is like 300 some words that I did in this sprint because I'm now at 542. Can do the math later, but I made target for the day, and I've got something like 640 words to go before I hit the target for the story.
Nice. I'm really glad. I looked over my notes and some code stuff, and then I read some and mainlined veggie sticks like it was my job.
Okay.
So
Sako
that was my sprint.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, she did mention that they had a concert.
She's got another concert coming up. Yeah, she had to get going for it. So
yeah,
glad she was able to spend some time with us.
Right? So let me pop into the comments. Jenna talking about the AI generated manuscript they were sent to edit. They saw the plot holes at least and fixed them, thankfully. But if they had told me it was AI up front, I would have been different. It would have had a different story / outcome. And Maggie still thinks it's crazy. They sent her an AI generated novel to edit and fix. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. If somebody sends you something that's AI written, that's not editing, that's rewriting, and that's a different rate.
Yeah. Maggie says she was just on the Nano forums and all 3 of the threads talking about how uncomfortable everyone is with AI writing are gone. And
so, I'm sorry, Maggie, I'd like a little clarification. Was that threads that are gone or the people were gone, as in banned from the forums?
Oh, I don't know if I would remember who it was. And
yeah, I don't know if I would
left,
either.
How do we verify if they didn't flounce versus
whether they left or whether they were banned? Yeah, that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
But okay, she says the threads are gone. All right. So yeah, they're still editing the narrative.
So yeah. I went to my Facebook NaNoWriMo group and I'm like, hey, what's the decision? Because I couldn't find it on the Discord. So a couple of people are like, wait, what happened? Because a lot of people only come around NaNoWriMo in November or late October.
October, yeah.
Yeah. So Jenna finished editing a chapter and is sending it back to a client, then off to Choice. I'm assuming this one is not AI.
Yeah, hoping this is a real client and not somebody wanting you to chores. Okay.
Oh, okay. Damn you, auto incorrect. Shakes fist at Sky.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a fun week. Did I mute myself? Hello?
I can hear you fine.
I'm sorry. I figured out which key I hit. It was the mute everybody else, turn off my ears while I'm still making noise. So
okay.
It's not your fault. The problem is I forgot that my work laptop versus my home laptop, the F keys are reverse. One of them I have to hit Control F, and the other one I just have to hit F5 to refresh the screen. So.
Yeah, I've got things like that on the new keyboard. I went with a full-size keyboard, so it actually has like keys for things like if I want to give a Siri, or if I'm on the Windows side, Cortana or whatever it is, to a command, there's a button I can push, and then I can that brings up its attention, makes it pay attention. But there's also function buttons for those things, so it's like, really make up your mind.
Always fun.
Yeah.
New keyboards get weird.
Let's see. Jenna had another comment on there.
Let me pop over to that.
Oh.
Autocorrect, another type of AI people use and forget is AI.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're doing this. It's
Yes,
not
we are.
artificial intelligence, it's just really good algorithms and predictive algorithms. I'm waiting for, the singularity in which a self-aware, um, artificial intelligence
Yeah.
is created, in which they are independently thinking and not. Then again, one can argue how much are we independently thinking rather than a combination of biology
Responding to stimulus. Yeah.
and stimulus
But
response.
my point is the same kind of logic
Mhm.
used for predictive text for autocorrect is what they're using for these generative AI models. So as often as AI as autocorrect gets the wrong word, that's how bad generative AI is going to be.
I am still ticked because Android used to have different suggestions for autocorrect for verbal voice to text than they did for swipe to text. Because those are words that sound the same and words with keys near each other are not the same thing. And they took it away. And it's not that I don't think it's hard to do, it's that we had a better capability and they took it away.
Yeah,
So,
I always get upset when we've got good functioning capabilities and somebody makes a decision and stops supporting it and takes it away.
right?
And I have plenty of complaints against Apple for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can complain about Apple all you want, but there's the website. Did Google cancel?
Oh, Google has also been famous for coming up with really good, creative, useful things that they put out there for free. And then because they can't figure out how to monetize them, they try to kill them off.
Oh, I always considered killedbygoogle.com, the Google graveyard. I've always considered it more of at Google, they highly encourage people to have pet projects and stuff like that, and they sponsor those.
At least they
And
did.
eventually, sometime in 3 to 20 years, people eventually either move to a different position or move on to another company. And nobody takes over these pet projects, and they're like, "And we're no longer supporting this."
Yeah.
Everything's always in beta, so they never have any responsibility to make it real, except for the corporate side of things, because they're charging money.
I know that Google Voice, I've absolutely loved that for ages, and Google's slowly been trying to strangle it, but it's too useful and there are too many people using it who won't let them. Now they've just kind of relegated it off into a corner and they're putting as little into it as they can because they can't make money from it.
Yeah. So, like, I understand that Google needs to make money. I mean, they're doing a lot, they process a lot, but, like,
But
they
they still make money the way that they always have by selling us to advertisers.
Yeah. So it's just really frustrating. I shared a meme the other day of discussing when they got rid of their "Do No Evil" motto back in 2014, 2018.
I don't know. It does feel like it's been 10 years since they fully embraced being evil.
I mean, it started when they became publicly traded as the Alphabet Company or something. I don't even remember. I never hear anybody refer to it as such, but that's what they were initially traded on the stock market as. And I think I have feelings about publicly traded companies in that our laws have decided corporations are people who are entitled to voices and can use their voice by spending their money on politicians, and B, that corporations are legally obligated to maximize shareholder profits, which encourages short-term wins over longevity and,
So,
company or industry growth.
but
And the fact that it's legally obligated is, I think, the worst
but
part.
it's not. There is no legal obligation on a corporation to maximize shareholder profit. That is a lie. The purpose of the corporation is to continue running. In the course of running, it will make a profit, which will help the shareholder profit. But the shareholders aren't the purpose of the corporation. They are just people who have loaned it money so that it will continue to live and thrive.
Okay,
That's
you're
it.
right. You're right.
I'm sorry. I have strong feelings about this because it's the idea that corporations exist to make profit for their shareholders, which is ruining business and driving
Yes,
our
that's
economy
why
to the
it
brink.
ticks me off. That's why it
Yes.
ticks me off. Okay, apparently there is no legal obligation, but it seems like shareholders believe that that's what corporations exist for, and that's why they invest the way they do. So they
And
encourage that behavior.
they encourage that behavior, and now they're raising a whole generation of business people that believe that's the purpose of the corporation. And it's like, no, it's not. You're getting it all
I
wrong.
want sustainability and growth and to learn and change and evolve. I
Yeah,
don't want stagnant, let's see if we can maximize fourth quarter results. I want somebody looking 2, 5, 10 years in the future, you
exactly.
know? So, popping into the comments, there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, let's
It's
talk
Maggie.
about
Yeah.
on the current topic. Maggie says it's how the pharmaceutical companies get away with charging hundreds or thousands of dollars for a dose to their board, so they can make so much in bonuses. And I recognize it costs a lot of money and a lot of effort and failed attempts to find a new medication. So I understand some level of recouping costs, but insulin, they gave away the formula for free because it saves lives, and now the cost of insulin is
Yeah. And
frost.
that's absolutely so very wrong. It's so against the intent of the guys that discovered how to make it in the first place.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So,
and, and
mhm.
and then they go and lobby governments to require them to have certain amounts of insulin, and they only package it in particular expensive, difficult to make injectors when you could just have syringes and bottles of insulin much cheaper.
Which is what they do with pets.
Yeah.
So anyway, Maggie says it makes me mad because my friend in Australia pays less than $90 a month for the same medication. My insurance charges $1,200. Insulin's a good idea, as are EpiPens. Yeah, they like quadrupled the price overnight. Duh. But let's go back to the NaNoWriMo argument. Maggie says more than half of her buddies are off the website. She's just leaving hers up to create a project tracking spreadsheet back to 2017. Unless they have a major restructure, she's out. I'm not deleting my account, but I'm not active on it right now.
I have not gone and deleted my account, but I'm not sure that I will ever have any activity with it again.
That one. Partially because I don't want someone else to use my account name and stuff like that and do stuff under my name. And, there is some longevity there. And there's some, hey, look, I was a supporter until you did the thing, and now I'm no longer a supporter. So, yeah. Jenna's like autocorrect, another type of AI. Non-generative AI is so much a part of everyone's lives that most people don't even notice or remember. Jenna said that those insulin pens are so beneficial for helping people in the early stages of dementia to track things at a glimpse and easier on their nursing staff who may not be as well trained. I'm just having flashbacks to Memento. So I'm sorry. When we talk about dementia and insulin pens.
The issue is not to say that insulin pens are bad or that EpiPens are bad, but to say that, but to point out they deliberately choose designs that are expensive to manufacture, so they can justify the huge markup on a drug that takes pennies to manufacture.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, Jenna says something good at documentation too, or so former students of mine have said. I'm okay with assistive AI, a la Rosie from the Jetsons. I'm not okay with AI that's like Ultron. I mean, I think we're all on board with that.
Yep.
The auto injectors cost $600 alone, which is ridiculous and not like
they don't cost that much. That's what they charge.
yes.
But yeah, but they justify charging that much by saying, oh, it's the construction of the auto injector, and it's like, you could build that a lot cheaper. You could price it a lot closer to cost.
Yeah. So
there is
anyway.
passion here.
Bing.
Yep.
Oh, bingo. Yes. So anyway, I think we're at time. Thank you all for listening to Doc and I rant about a multitude of topics today, and Sako helped her out earlier. You can find Sako Tumi as Psycho Sako, Sako Tumi, or Cass Voit is where you're going to find her urban fantasy White Wolf universe stuff. So check her out. If you're on YouTube, check out the links. Otherwise, you know how to Google and just ignore the AI results that take up the first screen. Maggie says that her youngest's migraine medication would only cost $180 for a vial and needles for 3 months, but because the INS has an agreement, it only covers the auto injectors. So it's $900 a month, every month. They do get a discount, but thank God, goddess. But yeah,
but that's a ridiculous markup.
Healthcare should not be a for-profit industry.
Yeah, I mean, there are reasonable margins for sustaining your industry and for being able to do newer and better things, but don't price gouge people that are trying to survive.
Yeah. So I don't think this is promoting the general welfare.
Yep.
So anyway, Doc, who are you? Where can we find you?
I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. If you're curious about me or my books, just go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk, and that will help you find my website at doccoleman.com. It'll also help you find my Amazon author page, because while Amazon is evil, they're still the best game in town for independent authors. And then you can see all of the stuff that I've currently got in print, and you can look at it and see what samples of each work and determine if it's something that's going to be right for you. If you're going to be at Capclave in a couple, is that a couple
Rockville,
weeks?
Maryland, at the end of the month.
Yep. Then you will see both Morgan and myself there on panels. And I will also have books, and you can pick up books there and get them signed. If you can't make that, but you can make the Maryland Renaissance Festival on October 19th, I will have a book signing there at Page After Page bookstore inside the fair. And another great opportunity to pick up my books and visit with me and get them signed.
Awesome. And let me pop into the comments. Nikki says weight loss meds are not covered by insurance, but I guess the
Despite the fact
surgery
that obesity is an epidemic, right?
Right. Yeah. Maggie says, be blessed and have a lovely evening. I said, does anyone have a favorite search engine anymore, or just ones that are less annoying?
I hear some people are real fans of DuckDuckGo, but I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am a on hiatus blogger, vlogger, and podcaster of writing tips and writerly musings. You can find me everywhere except Twitter, X, as Morgan Hazelwood. Check out my link tree, Morgan Hazelwood, and find all my links there. And right now I'm still binge reading gay romances because that's where I am in my life. Have a great week, and we'll be back next week. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.